friends, my pleasant and humble wishes student on. The first topic is G7 to provide 1 billion vaccine doses to world, says the United Kingdom. G7 leaders will agree to expand global COVID vaccine manufacturing to provide at least 1 billion doses to world through sharing and financing schemes, says Britain on Thursday. The announcement came after the United States said it would donate 500 million jabs to 92 poor and lower middle income nations. The UK, which is hosting the Big Powers gathering in southwest England, added it would donate at least 100 million surplus doses within next year, including 5 million beginning in the coming weeks. The commitment follow growing calls for richer countries to step up their efforts to share COVID-19 shots with less developed nations. Charities warning the current situation is leading to vaccine apathy. Britain, which has ordered for more than 400 million doses, has faced criticism for failing to making donation to poor countries. But on the eve of welcoming world leaders from the group of 7 wealthy nations to their first summit is almost 2 years, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson vowed that would soon change. As a result of success, the UK's vaccine program, we are now in position to share some of our surplus doses with those who need them. At the G7 summit, I hope my fellow leaders will make similar pledges, says the British Prime Minister on G7 summit. The next topic is Ministry of External Affairs hints at talks with Taliban. Ministry does not deny direct contact with group. India is in contact with various stakeholders in Afghanistan, the Ministry of External Affairs said in response to a specific question about whether the government has opened direct talk with Taliban. While the Ministry of External Affairs did not confirm the talk, which would represent a major shift for Indian policy, it did not deny recent reports that indicate that Indian security officials have exchanged messages with several nationalist Taliban factions, including Mullah Abdul Ghani Bhadda, a member of Rehbari Shura, or Leadership Council that includes Pakistan-based Taliban accusers of terrorism. We are in touch with various stakeholders in pursuance of our long-term commitment towards development and reconstruction of Afghanistan, says the Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson Arindam Bakshi, speaking to journalists on Thursday, where he referred to External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar's participation at the inaugural ceremony of intra-Afghan talks with Taliban leaders in Doha last year. Significantly, Mr. Jaishankar held a meeting with Qatar National Security Advisor Mohammed bin Ahmed Al Mensed on Thursday during a transit stop in Doha between his visit to Kuwait and Kenya, where he said he had discussed developments in the region and beyond. The Ministry of External Affairs declined to respond to a question on whether the recent development is in the Afghanistan talks came up during the conversation. Talks appears to have run into trouble both in Doha, where the Taliban official headquarters are based, and in Istanbul, where the US-backed process for talks with Taliban have been delayed for more than 2 months. India thus far refused to open direct dialogue with Taliban leadership, which is held responsible for facilitating terror attacks, along with groups like Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed on Indian mission in Afghanistan. However, according to experts, India has recognized its position in the aftermath of US announcement that it would pull out all its troops by September this year. The next topic is Government dismisses media reports on COWIN being hacked. The Centre on Thursday debunked media reports about COWIN being hacked, stating that prima facie these reports appear to be fake and that the portal stores all the vaccination data in a safe and secure digital environment. However, the Ministry and Empowered Group on Vaccine Administration (EGVAC) are getting the matter investigated by the Computer Emergency Response Team of Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Dr. R.S. Sharma, chairperson of the Empowered Group on Vaccine Administration (COWIN), clarified that our attention has been drawn towards a news circulating on social media about the alleged hacking of the COWIN system. In this connection, we wish to state that COWIN stores all the vaccine data in a safe and secure digital environment. No COWIN data is shared with any entity outside the COWIN environment. The data being claimed as have been leaked, such as geolocations of beneficiaries, is not even collected at COWIN. New Delhi asked Beijing to allow Indian nationals to travel to China. India on Thursday asked China to allow Indians to travel to that country, especially those who work or study there, saying essential two-way visits should be facilitated, keeping in view the fact that Chinese nationals are able to come to India. The Ministry of External Affairs also said that India supports the need for a follow-up to the World Health Organization's report on the origin of COVID-19. Amid growing global calls to find out how the coronavirus emerged in Chinese city of Wuhan in late 2019. To a separate question on the proposal at the World Trade Organization by India and South Africa to waiver patients on COVID-19 vaccines and related products, Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson Arindam Bakshi said, "We are happy to see that our initiatives had gathered support from number of countries." On the issue of travel to China, he said India was in touch with Chinese side in order to seek an early resumption of travel by Indian citizens to China. He said, though Chinese nations are able to travel to India, Indian citizens are not being able to do so since last November, including those who have met Chinese condition of getting vaccinated with Chinese vaccines. We have been in touch with Chinese side in order to seek an early resumption of travel by Indian citizens to China, especially for those who work or study there, Mr. Bakshi added. While we recognize the need to ensure safety and strict follow of COVID-related protocols, essential two-way travel should be facilitated, especially keeping in view that Chinese nationals are able to travel to India. He said Chinese nationals are able to travel to India despite the absence of direct connectivity. However, for Indian nationals, travel to China has not been possible since last November as the Chinese had suspended existing visas, he said. It is understood that several Indian nationals have applied for Chinese visas after getting vaccinated in the manner but are yet to be issued visas. Since these national Indians have apparently met the requirement laid down by the Chinese side, we hope that Chinese embassy would be able to issue them visas soon. Chinese national apprehended at India-Bangladesh border. A Chinese national was on Thursday apprehended by the Border Security Force in West Bengal's Malda district. The South Bengal frontier of BSF in a press statement said that Han Zhuang, 36, was arrested when he was trying to cross illegally into India from the Indo-Bangladesh international boundary. From interrogation and recovered passport, it was learned that he reached Dhaka, Bangladesh on 2nd June 2021 on a business visa and stayed there with Chinese friend. Then on June 8th, he came to Sona Masjid district's Changpangwa Beach, that is Bangladesh, and stayed in a hotel before sneaking into India on June 10. The Chinese national told interrogators that he had visited India 4 times and has hotel in Gurugram district, Star Spring. The Chinese national told investigators that because a case he had been registered against him, he could not get a visa to India and was trying to enter to the country through Bangladesh. The BSF officials said that they had involved other intelligence agencies and a thorough check of electronic device found from his possession was being carried out to ascertain more details. Sunita Narain, appointed to Climate Action Group. Noted environmentalist Sunita Narain has been appointed to an international advisory group for climate action by Swedish Minister for International Development Corporation Per Olsson Frith. The international group consists of experts who provide a deep commitment and knowledge in the field, said a statement after the announcement. The group aims to further strengthen Swedish government's attempt to address climate change and conserve biodiversity. Strong global action on these issues is necessary for sustainable and equitable development and to prevent conflicts and new pandemics. India-South Africa's patent waiver proposal in World Trade Organization achieved tremendous mileage progression, says Commerce Secretary. The proposal of India and South Africa on providing temporary patent waiver at the World Trade Organization to deal with COVID-19 pandemic has achieved tremendous mileage and progression as the World Trade Organization member countries have agreed to commence text-based national negotiation on it, a top government official said on June 10. The trade-related aspects and intellectual property rights, that is TRIPS, Council of World Trade Organization on June 9 agree with consensus to start text-based negotiations on the proposal submitted by the India and South Africa seeking patent waiver to deal with COVID-19 crisis. Commerce Secretary Anup Wadhwan said that the text-based negotiation is the way forward and it means that the members have broadly and in principle accepted the objective behind the waiver proposal. India and South Africa's proposal has achieved tremendous mileage and tremendous progression at very fast pace, he added. There is a deadline that by July end, the members are expected to come to agreed text. So it is very positive development. How the objective will be given effect and what the extent and for how much duration all that would happen through text-based negotiation, the Secretary noted. In October 2020, India and South Africa had submitted the first proposal suggesting a waiver for all World Trade Organization members on the implementation of certain provisions of the TRIPS agreement in relating to the prevention, containment and treatment on COVID-19. In May this year, a revised proposal was submitted by 62 co-sponsors, including India, South Africa and Indonesia. The agreement on TRIPS came into effect in January 1995. It is a multilateral agreement on intellectual property rights, such as copyright, industrial designs, patent, and protection of undisclosed information or trade secrets. According to the revised proposal of 62 co-sponsors, the waiver should be in force at least 3 years from the date of decisions on the matter. The co-sponsors have stated that the duration has to be practical for manufacturing to be feasible and viable. The revised text has also proposed waiver for health products and technologies as the prevention, treatment and containment of COVID-19, which involves a range of things and intellectual property issues may arise with respect to the products and technologies, their materials or components as well as their methods and means of manufacture. Hope this video is very useful. I would like to say that our academy WAR, Win and Rule, is coaching students in various exams like NEET, TNPSC, UPSCs, as well as we are tutoring students from class 6 to 12 in all subjects. One-to-one student coaching is also available at students' preferable timing. For further detail, refer the description.